Welcome to the Fezzer Garage. I'm Justin and this is YouTube's most seriously average car channel. Now, I recorded a video the other day to publish today and it was, well, putting it mildly, absolutely rubbish. So decided not to publish that video, and yesterday morning as I was taking the dog for a walk I thought, well, let's do a little video with the Dacia Sandero, give you a bit of an update as to how that car's been. We've had it for a couple of years and I haven't really featured it on the channel since the original video. The video I recorded the other day was rubbish, and the one I recorded yesterday with the Dacia is, in line with this channel, seriously average. But I hope you enjoy it. It's very short, it's not really a great video, and I do apologise for that. I'm going to make more of an effort to make some quality videos at some point. But it is very difficult to find the time sometimes. But anyway, let's just finish all this blabber and get straight to it. Right. Dacia Sandero time.
Great news! What? The Dacia...
Go for a walk. Good news. It's a Dacia Sandero. Come mate, up you go. Up. He likes his Dacia, don't you? Oh, you like your Dacia, don't you? Wow, it's very bright today. It's nice to see the sun out today. We've had a lot of rain over the last couple of days. A couple of weeks ago I did a video with the Lamborghini and I thought, oh, we need to balance it out a bit. So we're having a bit of a drive today in the Dacia Sandero Stepway. Guardia Civil, they might tell me off for recording. No, they won't do. I'm going to take the dog out. Back in a sec. Right, the dog has been walked so we can resume our journey. Oh, careful mate, careful. This is rush hour in this local area. This is probably as busy as it gets. This is painful. Come on. Why do people drive so slow? Right, what I'm going to do is just turn up to the village, get the sun behind us. It's a lovely sunny day today, but it hasn't been like that for the past couple of days. We've had a lot of rain. It's been really cold. In fact, today, this morning, it's 10 degrees, which is quite cold. I know it's not really cold, but it's cold enough. We're not used to it. Houses here are not built for the cold, so let's head up to the village, which won't take very long, and I can tell you a little bit about the car and what it's been like over the last couple of years having this car. Now, it may seem a bit contradictory considering what I have in my garage, but I really love cheap cars. I love small, cheap cars. Because I don't know whether it's because my engineering brain thinks it's really hard to build a good cheap car. It's much easier to build a really good expensive car, because well, basically if you're going to have an expensive car, you can just make it a little bit more expensive and add stuff to it, and if something costs more to make, they just add it to the price. But you can't do that with a budget car like a Dacia. You have to come up with clever ways of, you know, clever engineering solutions, or reducing weight, reducing number of components, whatever it is. You've got to come up with good ways to actually make this feasible. And this was a cheap car, but it doesn't feel like a cheap car. That's the thing. This is the top spec Stepway model. It's got everything. I mean, this car has cruise control, we've got Android Auto, we've got Apple CarPlay, we've got climate control, we've got reversing camera, we've got sensors front and rear, we've got a lovely little armrest here which I love. I mean, this car has a lot of spec considering it was a really cheap car. There was nothing, I mean, there's just nothing on the market that compares to it, nothing at all. So there's a lot of value for money here, and that's what I love. I love the fact that I get in, I think it's got everything I need. Okay, it could have a bit more power, but it's not a car that we needed for more power. So it's absolutely fine that it's only got a 3-cylinder 90 horsepower engine and 100 horsepower in LPG mode. And that's the other thing that it's got. So I forgot to talk about. This also has, this also has LPG, so it's got 2 fuel tanks. So if you're running low on petrol and you've got your LPG, well actually, you can default it to LPG and then go to petrol. LPG is nearly half the price of petrol. So LPG, why aren't more cars running gas? It's so much cheaper than petrol. When we fill this car up with LPG, I normally try and do both at the same time. So I put in the gas and I put in the petrol. it just seems to last forever. We never go back to the petrol station for ages. Well, I actually can't remember the last time I went to a petrol station, which is always a problem with my cars because I'm always at petrol stations. But this one rarely visits. So it is 2 years old this month, well, February, I think it's February, this car will be. And how has it been for 2 years? Well, reliability-wise, it's been really good, apart from these two windows started failing. They wouldn't go up and down properly, and took it to Dacia, and they immediately said, right, we just replaced the motor systems, linkage, everything. So they called us up a couple of weeks later. They replaced the whole lot, and it's been fine ever since. And to be fair to Dacia, the service from them is really good. They've been absolutely brilliant. I think they were even better than BMW. Apart from that, the only other thing that happened was that when this car was maybe a year and 4 months, the battery died. That failed, which was a bit surprising because, well, the battery was quite new, really. It's only just over a year old. Normally they last a lot longer than that. So apart from that, though, it doesn't really have anything else. This vibrates a little bit sometimes, but apart from that, we can't fault this car. It is a great little daily runaround. I just feel like we're always going to have a Dacia in our lives. I feel like it's just so much car for the money. I mean, why would you buy anything else? I suppose there's a couple of criticisms. One is the boot's not particularly big. I mean, it's big enough for the dog, but when we're travelling, there's 4 of us, it's really tight. It's because it's essentially a Renault Clio, so it's a small car, and that, although it looks bigger from the outside, it's a small car. Apart from that, okay, this is the only other criticism I've got. So is this the driving position. So I do sit slightly high, but that's out of choice. You can lower the seat quite a lot. You can lower the seat more than you can in my RS, ironically. The steering wheel, I just need it to be slightly nearer to me. I feel like I'm slightly, you know, sort of stretched out. I can see where they've saved money as well. That's the interesting thing. Well, interesting for me anyway. I've been studying the car. I've been trying to think, how can this car cost thousands less than the equivalent Renault? And yes, it's built in Romania, but that doesn't account for all of the cost savings, because so much of the car these days is built by robots, not humans. So in summary, this is a great little car, and it's not that slow. I know it's only got a 3-cylinder turbo engine. I think it's 0.9 litres. Or is it 1 litre? I think it's 0.9. And it goes okay. I mean, even when there's 4 of us in it, it's fine. We're talking about 6-speed gearbox here, which is very, very light. Everything's very light in this car. Really easy to drive. And it's just such a nice little car. And like I said, good on fuel, long range. You can fit 5 people here without a problem. What's not to like? We're very happy with our Dacia. I think there's always going to be a Dacia in the family now. Really hard to get one now. So I did, just on a final point, I did go to Dacia recently because my daughter had issues with her Mini, and I thought, well, maybe we just replace it for another Dacia because, well, there's such good cars and such good value. But I went to Dacia and basically they don't have any cars, so you can't get one. Anyway, that's all for today. Hope you enjoyed the video. I'll do some more videos with the Dacia soon, and have a great day. I'll see you next Wednesday. Bye.